moving on, we have an interesting management and focus, and this is Smartworks co-working spaces that we're talking about. Now, the company has launched SmartVantage. This is essentially for catering to the GCC growth story in India. Now, the company will be delivering large format whole building campuses as well. This spans of spanning more than 0.5 million square feet as well. Company currently serves over 730 clients, including GCCs, what we are looking at. But talk to more about this particular product and the strategy forward. We are joined in by Neetish Sarda, the founder and MD of the company. Hello and welcome to the show, Mr. Sarda. First of all, just let me ask you on the product itself, SmartVantage. GCC is one particular area that a lot of these co-working space solution companies are looking at. Just want to understand your perspective. What's the kind of growth potential that you see? What's the kind of ramp up that you see for this particular product itself?
No, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I think SmartVantage is not a new division that we are starting here at Smartworks. It is just a core offering. It is a part of our core offering. We're just creating a product which is custom made for GCCs to grow in India. If you look at the GCC's growth in India, it has been a phenomenal journey. The industry is already at about 50 billion with over 1.9 million people working in GCCs, different GCCs today. This is projected to grow almost double by 2030 to grow to about 110 billion with over 2.5 to 2.8 million people working. With the kind of demand that is coming in from GCCs, we thought that at Smartworks, we need to create a product which is catering to the different requirements of GCCs. Whether it is scalability options, the designing options, consultancy options that they require within these organizations. Because Smartworks has a core business which operates more than 12 million square foot today, we can create a product which is catering to the evolving needs of a GCC. And that's why SmartVantage, which is not a different division, but it is a product that is integral part of our core offering, which we're custom making for GCCs now.
Mr. Sarda, just want to understand, of this 12 million square foot of parcel that you already have, of this, what's the kind of contribution coming in from GCCs? Which end user industries are we looking at in particular? And with SmartVantage now in place, just want to understand how the financials in terms of margins differ from your traditional business, which is there.
No, so GCCs contribute a significant portion of our business. Currently, it is closer to the higher lower double-digit numbers where they're closer to about 14-15% as we speak. But it is continuously increasing. The contribution of GCCs over the last 2-3 years at a higher base has increased significantly, and we're seeing more and more demand coming in from GCCs who are looking at expanding in India. GCCs will affect both our top line as well as our bottom line. If you can create a product which is catering to the evolving requirement of a GCC, where you give them the ability of expanding in different cities, following their talent, creating a solution which is custom made for the infra requirement that they have, it is definitely value accretive. It is a part of our core offering as we speak, but we think that with the stickiness increasing with the SmartVantage plan that we've launched, you will see a margin increasing and the top line also increasing.
Mr. Sarda, very good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for joining in. It's Puneet this side. We've seen at the end of Q1 and your first quarterly results post the IPO, so congratulations on that. Roughly around 10 million to 12 million of your portfolio. How much are you expecting that to be by the end of this year? Because you have about 1 million square feet also coming in Q2 and Q3, and the reason for that question is basically because we've seen in your ramp up as well, roughly 65 to 70% occupancy comes in the first year. So how should we look at both these aspects?
So, Praneeth, we have had a fantastic journey, so far. If you look at the company's journey in the last 3 years, we've grown at almost 25 to 30% year on year in terms of square footage addition. In fact, post-COVID, you saw that growth even accelerate, especially in the last 12 to 13 months. Just in the last 3 months from start of this financial year, we've added more than 1.1 million square foot of additional space, taking our total footprint to over 12 million square foot now. We are projecting to grow at that same percentage, 25 to 30% or 35% every year, despite the higher base because of the value or demand of the product that is coming up. We have signed multiple large assets. Recently, we signed a large asset in Bombay, which was 560,000 square foot in Ghansoli in Mumbai. So we are looking at growing at that percentage at least over the next 3 to 4 years. And with the kind of demand coming in, all from GCCs as well as homegrown companies, as well as the IT, ITS, and the diversified sectors, we're fairly comfortable with that growth rate going forward.
So, Mr. Sarda, essentially, given these growth rates, you should essentially be around at 15 million square feet by the end of the year. Would that be a correct assessment?
It is very difficult to point out a particular number because it also
just a ballpark range, essentially around between 14 to 15, given the growth rates and the occupancy which will come in, the capacity which will come in Q2 and Q3.
Yes. So in terms of the footprint that we're looking to grow at, we will be approximately that number. It might be a quarter here or there, depending on when the buildings are coming available. But yes, the target is to grow by that 35% at least.
Got that, Mr. Sarda. Mr. Sarda, we leave it there today because of paucity of time, but a lot more discussions post our Q2 results, and we look forward to that as well. But thank you for joining in today, giving us perspective on what you're doing with GCC as well as for the year as well.